Today, we're exploring a strange space that exists between perception and imagination. An eerie moment when your eyes catch something and your brain insists that it's familiar. A face in the smoke, a figure in the trees, a saint on your slice of breakfast toast. That's right, we're diving into the world of pareidolia, that curious phenomena where the mind sees patterns that aren't really there. Or maybe the patterns are there, we're just not supposed to see them. Is it your brain trying to make sense of chaos? Or could it be something more? A metaphysical glitch, a psychic projection, or a peek beyond the veil? So what is pareidolia? The term pareidolia, and here you go, I'm going to give you a little bit of a lesson. It's spelt P-A-R-E-I-D-O-L-I-A, and it's pronounced Pareidolia. Put it together, pareidolia. Comes from Greek roots. Para means beside or instead of, and eidolon meaning image or form. In simple terms, pareidolia means the brain's tendency to perceive meaningful patterns in random or ambiguous stimuli, especially faces or figures. Some really good examples are seeing a face in the moon, finding animal shapes in clouds. I do this all the time, especially when my daughter was younger. We would always lie on the grass in our garden looking for animals in the sky. Interpreting tree bark, water stains, or wall textures as ghostly silhouettes. Neurologically speaking, our brains are hardwired for pattern recognition. It's a survival mechanism. We're actually social creatures, and our minds are trained to detect faces from birth. Studies using fMRI scans have shown that the brain's fusiform face area, which is responsible for facial recognition, activates when it sees face-like illusions or illustrations, like those creepy electrical wall sockets that look like they have a surprised expression, or a coat hanger that's got two little hooks and an eye, and it looks like it's a boxing octopus. Absolutely, your part of your brain that recognizes faces engages when it sees that. It's not a glitch, it's how we're built. But is that all there is to it? The sacred and the strange. Pareidolia isn't a scientific curiosity, indeed. A lot of people will have you believe that it is. It's actually deeply woven into culture, religion, and art. Throughout history, people have interpreted pareidolic images as divine signs and spiritual messages. When I was researching for this podcast, I came across a lady in Florida in the United States of America who in 2004 believed that she saw the face of the Virgin Mary on a grilled cheese sandwich. She kept it for over a decade and eventually sold it for over £25,000. I think it was $28,000 on eBay for a grilled cheese sandwich. In 1976, NASA released an image of Mars that appeared to show a humanoid face staring skywards. The now infamous face of Mars, it launched decades of speculation about Martian civilizations, secret cover-ups, and lost alien relics. Pilgrims travel to walls, trees, and oil stains that resemble saints, prophets, and even angels. Some claim these images weep, glow, and offer the ability to heal. Even in art, pareidolia has been consciously used. Leonardo da Vinci himself encouraged artists to look at stains on walls or swirling clouds for inspiration, to find images hiding in chaos. So, when does seeing become believing? Pareidolia lives at the crossroads of perception, belief, and emotion. Psychologists suggest that your emotional state influences what you actually see. If you're anxious, you're more likely to see a menacing face in a dark window. If you're spiritually inclined, you may see angels in the clouds, or find messages in your morning cup of tea or your morning coffee froth. Who knows? This is where our belief systems come into play. A believer in the paranormal may interpret a blurred face in a photograph as a ghost, while a skeptic might call it light distortion or lens flare. But here's the whisper. Just because something can be explained doesn't necessarily mean it should be dismissed. Maybe pareidolia is more than a misfire. Maybe it's a doorway. What does it mean in metaphysical terms? Some people, skeptics, scholars alike, especially within the metaphysical and the esoteric traditions, suggest that pareidolia might not just be seeing patterns where none exists, but rather seeing patterns that are hidden. In Carl Jung's framework, images that arise spontaneously, including visions, might tap into the collective unconscious. Archetypes like the mother, the shadow, the divine, they show up again and again and again in these illustrations or illusions. In this view, pareidolia is a mirror of the soul. You're not just seeing a face in the cloud, you're seeing yourself. Some traditions even go further. In shamanic practices, images seen in stone, fire, or smoke are considered messages from spirit or ancestors. In divination, ambiguous images are key, whether it's reading tea leaves, crystal scrying, or flame gazing. The subconscious or the spirit world often communicate symbolically. So perhaps pareidolia is the way something non-physical speaks through to the physical. It's a glimpse behind the veil. It's a whisper from the other side. Now here's the question I hear you ask. Why does it matter? What's the problem? Well, whether you see pareidolia as a psychological trick or a spiritual symbol, its presence reminds us of something important. We don't perceive reality as it is. We perceive it as we are. Your mind is constantly filtering, interpreting, projecting, and sometimes that projection lands on a wall, or in a tree, or in a cloud shape that catches your eye. And when that happens, you pause, you wonder. And in that space between certainty and mystery, something ancient stirs. It's the same instinct that led our ancestors to paint on cave walls, to worship the stars, to dream up gods and monsters from the mist. Pareidolia connects us to the unknown and asks us to consider, what if the universe is trying to talk back to us. My closing thoughts. So, the next time that you see a face in a puddle or a creature in the clouds, don't just brush it off or dismiss it. Pause, listen, let that whisper rise. Maybe it's your brain, maybe it's your soul, maybe it's something else. Either way, you've glimpsed the dance between form and formless, between mind and matter, between seen and unseen.